Five Piece Podcast. We're just peas in a pod. I'm Stephanie.
I'm Molly.
I'm Craig.
And we're just hanging out.
Sorry, the way that you said, I'm Craig.
I'm Stephanie, and then there was like, I'm Molly. And everyone is uncomfortable. Here we go. No one is here by choice. Except for me. And not him. Oh, and this is Billy, who will give constant commentary the whole time, and most of it will be pissy.
Because I'm here, and I equal more people.
Balls. 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 This is staying in.
Join us, Craig. Join us.
Balls.
Today we're talking about superstitions. And I am a begrudging superstitious person where I do them and then think, why did I just do that? I think to my left is where do you land on superstition?
I'm pretty skeptical.
He's a non-believer.
Shun the non-believer.
I didn't say. Oh no.
I feel like that is the three of us in a nutshell. Craig is Charlie.
I showed that to Craig at one point and was like,
Showed me what?
Charlie the Unicorn.
Oh.
And told you that Molly and I were the two unicorns, and you were like, yeah, kinda, but we're not gonna steal any of your organs.
That's good.
That's to be seen.
I don't think you guys could.
I don't know. I think I fixed it.
It's a ghost. Also skeptical of ghosts.
Yeah.
What about poltergeist?
Poltergeists are a kind of ghost.
That's not true.
Yes, it is.
You're not wrong. I'm just being difficult.
What about demons?
I don't know.
Are they ghosts?
No.
So Merriam-Webster defines a superstition as a belief or practice resulting from ignorance, fear of the unknown, trust in magic, or chance, or the false conception of causation.
I tend to agree with everything Merriam-Webster just said.
It also says, hey, you're ruining everything. It also defines it as a notion maintained despite evidence to the contrary.
Again, I tend to agree with Merriam-Webster on this.
I think it's funny that it's just like, hey, you're dumb.
Yeah.
There's evidence to the contrary. You still believe it because you're stupid. Rational Wiki, which I don't know how that's different from Wikipedia, but I guess it might be. Says superstition is the idea that supernatural mechanisms affect outcomes in the natural world. It comes from the Latin superstitio, or standing over, which can imply a force standing over one's actions. The issue of control and gaining control over a situation is something that is often raised in the matter of superstitious belief. There's also a quote on here that says, superstition is the religion of feeble minds. Edmund Burke said that.
You know, as much as this sounds like superstition, it also sounds like they're just describing a narcissist.
I can control everything. But I pulled up a list of superstitions and was just kind of curious about like where they came from.
Is that man a cryptid? Because he kind of looks like he could be a cryptid. Or a really creepy Abraham Lincoln.
Watch out for your ass, sir. She gonna get it.
No, I'm not.
She gonna smack it.
No, just Mothman. He's not attractive.
You don't like the sideburns?
But Mothman is attractive?
Mothman got that dump truck of an ass.
That's all it takes?
Yeah.
She's all about that bass.
Because, I mean, he's a moth.
Yeah.
He's so dusty.
Probably still better than most of the men out there.
Okay.
Have you dated men recently?
No.
Exactly.
You don't get a say.
Fair enough.
So the first one on the list is knocking on wood. It's Indo-European, Celtic, or possibly British. So they're like, over there. Kid
Yeah.
from over there.
Yeah.
And any list of superstitions would have to begin with arguably the most well-known and universal superstition, to knock on wood. The actual origin, and even the meaning of the phrase, are as varied as the cultures which use it, which suggest roots in Indo-European or Celtic beliefs that spirits, good and bad, reside in trees, who could be called upon for protection or chased away by knocking on their home. And others, particularly Christians, linked the practice to the magical power of the wooden crucifix. Most likely among the different theories, historians have attributed the superstition to a 19th century British children's game called Tiggy Touchwood.
Oh, that sounds not great.
That is a different kind of game. The children should not be playing Tiggy Touchwood.
No.
In which young players claimed immunity from being tagged by touching the nearest piece of wood. Oh.
That's so weird.
Well, no, that's like, did you ever play tag and there was a home base and you like ran and
no.
touched a tree that was home base?
Yeah.
So we all played Tiggy Touchwood.
I don't like that it was called that. Weird.
Adults picked up the habit and the phrase. The British still say touch wood, and the rest is history. That's probably the one I do the most.
Yeah.
I do it a lot, actually, now that I think about it.
My mom used to do it a lot, so now I don't.
You refuse.
Yeah, but that's really cool. Mythology?
History? That's gonna be nice and loud. Well, like, our door frames at work are really big, heavy wood, and I knock on them all the time. Whenever we're like, oh, today's going really well. Knock, knock. Oh, there's nobody calling. Knock, knock. Like, constantly knocking on the wood at work.
Are you trying to get little impy guys to bring you good fortune?
Yes.
That's the one that I like the most.
The spirits in the trees.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, are you trying to chase off the ones that would ruin your day because you called out how good it was?
Oh, yeah. You can call on protection or chase them away by knocking on. So I'm like, it's a great day. No spirits come in here and fuck it up.
Yeah.
As with many superstitions, there are subtle variations and sometimes not so subtle variations. Italians touch steel, perhaps more related to iron horseshoes. Poles and Russians touch unpainted wood. Turks knock twice. Latin Americans knock on wood with no legs, like chairs.
Chairs have legs.
Well, like, they don't knock on chairs.
Oh, I see.
They would, like, knock on something else. And it's best to memorize them all before traveling, which I'm not going to do. I'm sorry. If I'm going somewhere, I'm just going to knock on whatever's around.
You might piss off the locals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You don't care?
I'm just not gonna knock on wood.
Oh, yeah, you let someone else do it for you.
Yeah.
You're like, you know it better than I do. Will you please knock on wood for me? Didn't I, when we were playing Mario Party the other night, did I knock on wood or did I just yell at you about messing up my odds?
You just yelled at me. Because I verbalized your actual odds.
Yeah. I was like, I need to roll a 6, and he's like, oh, you got a 17% chance, and I was like, not if you say it, I don't, and he kept saying it, and I was like, but, how am I supposed to be able to read that?
I don't know.
So the next one's throwing salt over your shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
which feels really messy. Perhaps the second most common superstition, at least in the West, involves tossing salt over your shoulder. Like knocking on wood, this involves the idea of warding off evil. In this case, the devil himself. In Leonardo da Vinci's The Last Supper, Jesus' betrayer, Judas, is portrayed as having accidentally spilled the salt. Since Judas is associated with doing something bad, the argument goes that ipso facto, so was salt, and throwing it over your shoulder would blind the devil waiting behind you.
What if I want to welcome the devil?
Pepper.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I think you just don't throw the salt.
Murder.
Mucked up. I've made that joke about tossing salt.
Not recently.
No, not recently, but I have.
I don't remember what the joke was.
Like if I'm like, I spilled salt, I'm supposed to throw it over my shoulder, but I'm not gonna.
Oh.
That kind of thing.
Gotcha.
Because it's messy.
I mean, we have a robot that cleans up after us.
Oh, so we should just let our slave do it?
Yeah.
I always thought that there's this old Looney Tunes cartoon that these two dogs go into like a house of the future, and they spill something, and this Roomba type thing runs out of the closet and like detects the spill. And so I thought, A, your Roomba would do that, and B, that it was building a map of your house, and that it doesn't do either of those things.
Yep.
So I feel real gullible.
I mean, it could map your house if they decided to include that technology. It'd probably be more expensive than most people would want to
Yeah.
spend.
Well, and it could probably detect spills, but you'd have to have little sensors,
Yeah.
like, everywhere.
Yeah.
In other versions of the salt superstition, Old Scratch was thought to reside over your left shoulder, so the salt was thrown in its face. And others say that the sheer value of salt alone in ancient times led to the belief that to spill it was to incur bad fortune, requiring the corresponding ritual or act of penance to prevent a worse loss from occurring.
See, that's the one that I'm used to. That's the one that I was taught, not the...
The devil.
Yeah.
It makes me want to go back and watch stuff, though, to see if the left is always the devil and the right is the angel. When, like, the little...
Oh, shit. I mean, you don't throw it over your left one, because then you...
That's the devil.
I know. You won't welcome the devil.
So if someone gets possessed, it's her. She's like, by all means, come on in. Oh, I actually meant to tell you. So since the last time you came over, not a couple days ago, but like since the last time we sat down, I fainted.
No.
Yes, I did.
I'm saying no to your body, not to you.
Oh. And initially he told me that I was talking and I didn't sound like myself, and I fully thought he meant like demonic, like speaking in tongues, a different voice coming out of me, and that's not what he meant.
No, that is not what I meant. That would have been a very different kind of panic on my part.
That's fair. That's valid.
And we sat there and tried to like figure out, was it, did I do something that reacted to my medication? What, was it caused by my medication? And we sat there and kind of tried to suss things out. And then I was like, I haven't even taken my medication today, so
It's not that.
it's probably not that.
Well, I mean, it could absolutely be that, because your medication builds up in your system, right? It's not just
That it does.
True.
effective when you take it.
One of them is effective like pretty much right away,
Yeah.
and you have to wean off of it because it just starts.
Yeah. Okay.
The other
But-
one is slower.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, it's been 30 days. Do you feel it yet? And I'm like, why does it take 30 days? When? But I think we decided that I just overstretched and like pinched a nerve or like yoinked a muscle, and my body was like, oh no, it hurts, and I passed out.
I'm sorry.
But I feel bad because he was telling me a story about how he had a really rough day, and all of a sudden I was like, hey, I'm not okay. I don't think I'm okay. Because he sounded like he was at the far end of a tunnel, and he was talking to me, so I was like, focus really hard on what he's saying, and maybe you can hear him better if you focus really, really hard. And I was focusing so much on listening that I wasn't listening to what you were saying. So I was like, just maintain being awake.
That sounds like every day.
So, when you texted me that you were off this weekend, and I was like, yay! And you said, you told me that.
Yeah.
I told my boss that. And she goes, yeah, but that was when I wasn't listening to you. You should have known.
Yeah.
I was like, he just needs to put everything on a sticky note on the fridge and be like, I told you this yesterday. There it is. You can't forget. Whoa. It like zoomed in on that picture a lot, and I wasn't ready for it. The next one is walking under a ladder.
Alligator.
A ladder. It's European, Christian, possibly Egyptian. The superstition of not wanting to walk under a ladder also has roots in Christian symbolism of the Holy Trinity. The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit led to the association of the number 3 as something sacred. Oh, I was like, where are we going with this? The triangle has 3 sides. So a ladder leaned against a wall forms a triangle. And so to walk through it is to disrupt God?
I wonder if this one is just like OSHA being like, it's not safe. Don't do that.
Don't walk under a ladder, please. Yeah, so it says to walk under a ladder would destroy the sanctity of the triangle, or of the Trinity, and incur punishment. And I'm like, wait, it's not because someone's gonna fall on you?
I'm pretty sure like people back then, old-timey people, were just real dumb, and the only way that they would stop walking under ladders was because like that's the only way. So God wouldn't be mad at them or whatever.
I will smite you for walking under a ladder.
I mean, maybe they viewed someone falling on them as being smote.
Well, definitely
Like that, like you?
concussed or dead.
Yeah.
And I'm also like, you could knock the ladder over. There's
Well,
there's so many like logical things that could go wrong with walking under a ladder that for it to be like, God, I'm like, that's not where I thought that was gonna go, but okay. All right. The ladder's resemblance to a gallows also didn't help, nor the fact of the obvious danger of something falling. Finally, the Egyptians apparently thought that one might accidentally spot a god going up or down a ladder, and so they avoided it.
I think they were just afraid of. Is that why I'm so afraid of heights? Will I get closer to Mothman?
You can't be that afraid of heights. You used to ride around on my shoulders all the time.
I don't think I could do that now.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like when we go to the movie theater, there's all the escalators, and I don't like him to be on the outside because he'll like pretend to lean over, and I'm like, don't
pretend. I do lean over.
Yeah, and I'm like, don't do that. And then so I'll be on the outside, and he'll kind of like and I'm like, don't do that either. So I'm like,
Bad Craig.
It's fine.
until you push me off and I die.
I'm not gonna push you off.
Bad Craig.
Not on purpose, hopefully. The next one's a broken mirror. It comes from ancient Greek and Roman, European, etc.
I think this one is also like pre-OSHA. That's dangerous. Maybe don't do that. A little.
I'm thinking that. Oh, so do we have any like? Okay, so actually that makes me want to do like play a little game of like, do we have theories on why it's bad luck? Like, I'm kind of wondering if it's a silver thing.
I don't know.
Silver thing.
Because they used to like the reason vampires can't see themselves in the mirror is because
They used
silver.
to be backed with silver.
Oh.
Yeah, but now they're not. So
I have no idea. I think most of them are safety because old-timey people were real dumb.
I also have the question of if you break a mirror and it's 7 years bad luck. If you break another mirror, is it 7 more years? And does that tack on at the end? So for a total of 14, or do the 7 years overlap each other, and it's just compounded bad luck? Like,
or does it restart the 7 years?
Someone explain the 7 years. I'm just like, man, if you break 4 mirrors, you just have really fucking bad luck for 7 years. And
Or maybe you don't have any bad luck because it's bullshit.
Which goes back to the pre-OSHA of it's dangerous.
Yeah.
You're gonna cut yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, this was around when people were drilling holes in their head and bloodletting.
I mean, I don't really believe
really
that
holes in their head.
that people in the past were dumber than we are now. They were less educated, for sure.
Yeah, but they also drilled holes in heads.
Right, because they thought that was a viable scientific way to relieve pressure or
and release demons.
I thought you
Sure.
were gonna say hysteria, and I was like, God forbid a woman react to something.
Bloodletting I get because sometimes when I get a bad enough headache, I'm like, maybe if I just lose some blood, that'll make it better. It's not
Maybe
the
if
case.
I just grab a drill, everything will be fine. Have you ever thought about getting that piercing that's supposed to help? There's like a migraine piercing.
I don't like piercings.
Fair enough. That's valid. Anyway, the belief that a broken mirror brings bad luck most likely has its origins in the simple fact that reflections of ourselves are uncanny and unnerving, especially on a bad hair day. So humans have long had bad associations with it. Take, for example, the Greek myth of Narcissus. Did you? No, you didn't. You said narcissist earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Or the idea that a crack in a mirror would somehow break its charm or trap one's soul. I would like to expand on that particular part of it. In the ancient Romans, however, it was the ancient Romans who contributed the notion that a broken mirror would bring 7 years of bad luck because it was believed that only poor health would cause a mirror to crack. And the number 7 was seen by the Romans
See? Old-timey people being crazy.
as the number of years required to complete a full life cycle of sickness and renewal. Oh, because don't you have all new skin at the end of 7 years or something?
I don't know.
That
I've never taken biology.
I mean, that's like your cells replace themselves every 7 years, but that's like that they didn't learn that back then.
Well, it says, yeah, so they thought that 7 years was what it took to complete a full life cycle of sickness and renewal. So I'm assuming that they were like, meh. As a result, the broken mirror meant you were headed toward a death spiral that might take 7 years to pull out of. But then the Romans felt you could prevent that by gathering the broken pieces and burying them under the moonlight.
I have questions about the death cycle. Are we talking like depression, or are we talking just like people just try and throw spears at you or something? Like 7 years of people trying to kill you, or you trying to kill yourself? Or accidentally you trying to kill yourself?
Well, it says something about, like, poor health. Only a poor health could break a mirror. Not dropping it or anything. Just if you're real fucking bad looking that day. Psh, there it goes.
Well, maybe they mean poor health and that you're not strong enough to carry it around also.
You're a smarty pants. What do you think of these so far?
I think they're all bullshit.
You don't have any, like, when you don't feel like, oh, when you do something?
I mean, sometimes I knock on wood, but I don't believe that it actually does anything.
It's just kind of habitual.
Yeah.
Step on a crack, you break your mother's back. I forgot about that one.
I mean, I've stepped on so many cracks, and my mom's back hasn't broken yet, so yeah. There is plenty of evidence to the contrary.
This came from African and European folklore. Another superstition involving something cracked or broken is the stepping on a crack, as foretelling or even causing harm to a family member. As with mirrors, cracks in the earth, on the sidewalk, or almost anywhere have seen as portals to the realms of the supernatural for good and ill. To step on those cracks might invite or release unwelcome spirits into the world to do harm.
That sounds like fun, though.
You just an anarchist. This explains your D&D character so well. What? If I step on a crack, it could really fuck things up? Let's do it!
Find a penny, pick it up, and hop it on.
Good,
A penny.
good luck. Yeah, penny found is a penny earned. Or no, penny saved is a penny earned.
Yeah.
Well, you
Penny
can't
found is a penny fucking stolen from somebody who dropped it.
can't do much with the penny nowadays.
Okay, so what do you think the deal with pennies is?
I don't know. Oh shit!
Yeah,
Don't eat
I
it.
don't know. I don't.
I will say that if I see a heads down, like a tails penny, I will flip it over for the next person. And then if it's still there the next day, I'll pick it up because I'm like, I made my own luck today.
Nice.
But
Don't you have to pick it up to flip it over?
no, well, I mean, like, yes, but I just kind of like flip it over like a little pancake.
I just had to bark ghosts.
He's like, you haven't even given me one yet.
Come here. You're rewarding bad behavior.
I am rewarding bad behavior, you're right. Your dad said no. It's in my hand.
Come here.
I found it.
I mean, you gotta let him have that one now.
Easy. Gross. Thank you. Oh, I elbowed you in your head. So the pennies came from the ancient Romans, English, and American. So again, just kind of like lots of places.
Yeah.
The idea that finding a penny would bring good luck also originates in folk beliefs. In this case, the idea that metal, regarded by many as quite valuable, was sent by the gods to protect... No. Dumb. Okay. Metal was sent by gods to protect those whom they favored. Pennies made from... What? Pennies being made from metal, finding them meant you would have good fortune, but be careful. Some say the luck could break either way, and that if you have a tails up penny, you should turn it over and leave it for the next person.
Oh, hey, look at you.
And if you don't, that will give you bad luck.
Oh.
I always thought I was just like, awesome, I'll make someone's day. I feel like you have to, if you just turn the penny over and take it, it's like the luck isn't there. It's not imbued with luck yet.
Oh.
And it's not for you. You found a tails penny. If you flip it over, you still found a tails penny. So if you pick it up, you found it tails. But if it's there the next day, then congratulations, you made your own luck.
I mean, did you? Or does that actually hold with what it says in this superstition? Also, why is tails up bad, other than just somebody said it is?
We all know that I'm a butt man, so tails up is a good thing.
Give me them tails. I forgot about the horseshoe one. A lucky horseshoe.
Oh, we're just moving on?
Oh, we don't have to. I don't know. I don't have an answer to the question of why are tails bad.
Okay.
They're not. They're good. Butts are good.
Okay, Tina. Yes.
Stop barking at ghosts.
Yeah, it's spooky. Don't bark at ghosts. I don't like that. Do you ever see a dog just run into a corner of a room and just like...
I've seen videos of it.
I hate that.
My dogs have never done that, and if they did, I would lose my mind.
Yeah, I'm leaving. Bye.
Yeah.
You can keep the house.
Especially if there's like an attic and they're doing it specifically at the attic.
Ew!
No. It's too much. It's terrifying. What's in my attic? Probably a raccoon.
I'm like, what's in my attic sounds like a fucked up adult peekaboo. And then I like can't think of
what's in my attic. The person turns around, there's a dildo on their forehead.
Oh my god. Come over here, I'll show you. So, do we want to keep talking about pennies?
I mean, if you want to move on, we can move on.
I just don't really have anything else to say about it.
That's because all of it's bullshit.
Don't have to be mean about it. These are some people's beliefs.
Yeah, some people, you gotta be...
I will say that's not true.
I'm just gonna scroll through this real quick, because I found another one that I think is interesting. And I don't want to... Chewing gum at night? I've never heard of that. Oh, there's not very many left. Okay. Did I just ruin it? Okay. Oh, hey. Okay. Lucky horseshoe. Ancient Roman, Celtic, British Isles, and Europe. Another object commonly thought to be lucky is the horseshoe. The earliest origins of the horseshoe's function as a good luck charm reside in its volval shape. So the upside down horseshoe was an invocation of the pagan moon goddess Diana and her sacred vulva.
I'm gonna start doing that now. Not because I believe it, but apparently it looks like a vagine.
Vagine. As with pennies, metals are seen as both valuable and magical. Iron in particular was thought by early Europeans as something capable of warding off spirits. And, as with Romans and lucky number 7, which we have not gotten to yet, horseshoes frequently featured 7 nail holes. Horseshoes are not lucky if you're a horse. Because they're nailing it to your foot, and that sucks.
They're also not lucky if a horse kicks you wearing a horseshoe.
Why do they put on your
Because horses' hooves can crack
Horse hooves.
on hard surfaces. So,
Yeah.
so shoes are not bad for a horse, and it doesn't hurt the horse.
No.
How do we know that?
Because
It's
if
like
it
nails.
did, the horse would kick you.
Okay,
But
fair.
also, horseshoes are basically like the nails.
Oh, that's true.
for
Like
humans.
they saw
Yeah.
through them and stuff when
Yeah.
the horse is neglected. Have you ever seen that? Where like their hooves like curl.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
You-
awful.
I'm a reformed horse girl. I used
are
to
you?
ride horses all the time. If you're like mostly trail riding, you're fine. But if you're gonna be riding on like asphalt or concrete or
Yeah, they should have shoes for
Yep.
that.
Oh, so it's our stuff. Like I was
Yeah.
like, I mean, horses were running around fields forever without shoes on,
Right.
like me.
Yeah,
yeah, that's why if you're just trail riding,
but that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
If they're on a hard surface, their hooves can crack.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the point of the shoes, is to keep that from happening. No, you're stuck. You have to stay here
So,
because you're being a dick.
This references the 13th, like Friday the 13th, and it's like just like the number 7. There's magical significance attached to the number 13, and I'm like, you have not told us the significance of the number 7, but I guess I'll move on.
oh my God,
Wait, did it
Billy's
just-
face right
Billy, you're being laughed at.
The number 12 has frequently been seen as positive. 12 months of the year, 12 signs of the zodiac, 12 days of Christmas, 12 tribes of Israel. Naturally making its nearest neighboring number to the north negative. Like other superstitions around the Last Supper, 13 is also seen as unlucky because, again, Judas was the 13th member of the dinner party. Dude couldn't catch a break! That's what it says. In addition, on Friday the 13th of October 1307, King Philip IV of France arrested and put to death hundreds of the Knights Templar.
I've always had good days on Friday the 13th.
Same.
I've never had a bad Friday the 13th.
I mean, I've probably had bad Friday the 13th, but I think you're aware of them because it's Friday the 13th and you're like, ooh, spooky.
Well, it's also like usually tattoo shops have deals on Friday the 13th.
True. Come get our $13 picture thing and get one of 25 images. And there's like 85 people that are going to be walking around with the same tattoo as you. Although I have wanted to do that before.
Yeah. Well, sometimes they have like little flash
Mm-hmm.
like tattoos that you can choose from. You don't have to get like the number 13.
Oh, no, that's what I mean, is they give you like a sheet
Yeah.
that you can, but there's like, we're only tattooing these today. And I'm like, oh, great, I'm going to have the same tattoo as half the other people in town.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the number 13?
Nope.
It's a number. It's Taylor Swift's favorite number, I think. Remember?
Mama Swift.
Yeah. It's prime number. I like prime numbers.
What do you think? So, what do you think about the fact that like some hotels don't have a 13th floor?
It's superstition.
Also, there's some buildings where like they won't name the floor 13. It'll go straight to 14 even though it's the 13th.
And that's, I think that like
Right.
that's, if you do that, the 14th floor is still the 13th floor. Like
Yeah.
you didn't name it correctly, but it's still bad.
It just means that the people are like me and can't math well.
No, you need to calm down.
I don't think you understand how much food excites everybody.
Well, he's just like he's like making this horrible noise right into the microphone. He's so cute. I don't
They
know.
smell good.
They do?
Yeah.
Oh, I opened it up earlier and it was like, it smells funky. Oh, they actually smell like barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
I don't know
I don't-
why I thought you were gonna eat one. The way you grabbed the bag, I thought you were gonna go for it. I was like,
No.
we ate one of his dog treats because it was like banana and cinnamon.
No, it was
An
a pumpkin
apple?
pumpkin thing.
Oh, it was. And it smelled, and it was human grade, so it wasn't weird.
Yeah.
But it smelled so good. I thought it was gonna taste like a graham cracker, and I like took a little nibble off the edge and was like, oh, gross, ew. It
Ew.
tasted like nothing.
It tasted like cardboard.
Yeah.
I put sunscreen on this morning and it makes me smell like a Minion because it's banana smell flavor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I hate it.
Oh.
But also, if it's actual banana, it's not that bad. Can you imagine banana flavored, like not like actual banana, but banana flavored flavoring, like the nasty stuff for dogs? That'd be gross.
I don't like apparently that kind of banana used to exist. Like, that is what bananas tasted like. And then there was some bacterial thing that wiped out that particular genus of banana.
Thank you.
And so it doesn't exist anymore. But apparently that same bacteria has evolved and has started to wipe out current bananas.
I'm not mad about it.
I like bananas when I'm like, I need a banana right now. Sometimes I go on banana kicks.
I like bananas when they're like the perfect in between green and ripe.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're too ripe, it's a texture thing, but also a smell thing, and I can't.
Yeah, I don't like an overripe banana. Although I'm like, as soon as it starts to be speckly, I'm like, I'm suspicious of that banana.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's green, and then it's yellow, and then it's speckled, and I'm like, don't want it. I don't want that speckled banana.
What are your opinions on bananas, Craig?
They're fine. They're high in potassium. They make you radioactive.
Explain, please.
Potassium is a radioactive element. It's not enough to harm you.
Well, also
but
your body needs it.
What?
Your body needs it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, potassium's good for you. But if you eat a banana and then hold a Geiger counter up to your stomach, it will go off.
Where do I get Geiger counter?
I don't
Probably
know.
the Army surplus store.
I doubt that, but
Could I find it on the dark web?
You could probably find it on the web.
I was gonna say, it's not like it's illegal to have. It's just
It's like having a metal detector. It's just niche.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, every high school chemistry class has one.
Oh, so I just have to go
rob a school.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Yeah.
Or, like I said, you could probably just buy one. I doubt they're super expensive.
Don't rob a school.
No,
I'm not going to. I like how now we're both looking at.
Hey, you! Don't rob a school. Don't rob places in general. Robbery is bad. So the next one is black cats, and I think it's interesting because aren't cats like gods in Egypt?
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting that it's like, they're bad luck. I'm like, only if you're European.
The cheapest Geiger counter that I see is $67. Oh, $54. I don't think I would trust these ones though. This one, why is it on a piano?
What?
It was on a piano. Hold on, let's see if it'll restart. See, it's on piano.
Oh, piano's not radioactive.
Unless it's Imagine Dragons playing.
Oh, I thought you were insulting them, but you're quoting the name of a song.
I am.
Uh-huh.
Jason's favorite song. He was scream singing it the other day.
Let's see. So in Europe, see, I'm like, let's hypothesize about these things. And then the first sentence is, though cats have often been associated with good luck rather than bad luck, and they were even worshipped as gods in Egypt, things took a turn for the worst for our dark-colored feline friends after the Dark Ages, when in 1232 AD, a papal, thank you. A papal bull by Pope Gregory IX declared them an incarnation of Satan. He just decided that.
He must have never interacted with a black cat because they're very loving.
I love them. Things only went downhill for black cats from there, with people of the Middle Ages burning them in bonfires on holy days. And with Puritans in America connecting them to the practice of witchcraft.
Can we burn the people instead?
Don't burn cats or people. Also, the color black has long been associated with evil and death.
Oh shit.
Which didn't help. We had a black cat when I was a kid, and my dad was like, "Do not let the cat out on Halloween.
Yeah.
That's gonna be bad for everyone."
Yeah. Especially the poor kitty.
Well, yeah, but he was like, People are, and I was like, why, Dad? And he's like, because people suck and will do bad things to our cat. And I was like, people gonna do bad things to our cat? Are you reading about Geiger counters?
No.
Oh.
He's just bored.
Oh, okay.
He's bored of us.
No, it's fine. I don't know that I'm contributing a whole lot at the moment.
I get very suspicious of you when you say, it's fine.
Or, I'm sure. Like, real non-committal.
Or like, I'm sure it's fine.
And now he feels ganged up on.
Did you miss me as a friend?
Yeah.
Aw.
So this is, I'm switching websites now. This is one that I've thought of. Don't place two mirrors facing each other. Because according to a Mexican legend, putting two mirrors opposite each other creates a portal for the devil to enter your house.
Why? Like, why does it do that? Why do they think that?
But that's how you check yourself out fully. You gotta see the front and the back. If they're facing each other, you can see the front and the back.
I would like to answer your question of why. See, this is why I wanted to do this, was because I was like, I think you would ask interesting questions.
That's a pretty basic question. A toddler would also ask that question.
You're being very mean right now.
I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just saying.
Challenging.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the skeptic. You
Yeah.
can't just have two, I mean, you can. You just have two people being like, it must be real! Internet says it.
It's not real.
The internet says it, so it is.
Well, we have the skeptic and we have the person who's like, ooh, demons, devil? Yeah, do that.
So let's see. The Maya believed there were multiple worlds and portals connected worlds together. They believed that reflective surfaces like mirrors and water were portals to the spirit world. And I guess, so this is 134 pages. I'm not going to read all the way through it.
Right.
My best guess is that you're connecting a portal to a portal, and so things can hop from places they shouldn't. Like things that normally wouldn't connect to our world can.
Yeah. Okay, but who cares what the ancient Mayans believed?
Hey, that's very rude.
Controversy!
You're insulting a whole entire culture.
I'm
my
not
dude.
insulting them.
I mean,
I'm saying, why should I care what they believed in terms of where I place mirrors in my own home?
so you're also not supposed to place your mirror at the far end of a corridor because things will get, like, anything coming through the portal just gets trapped in that hallway.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't do that just because if I wasn't paying attention or if I was just out of it and I saw myself, I'd get spooked.
But also, back to my point of okay, so you wanted the skeptic. Scientifically speaking, there is zero evidence to support that mirrors are a gateway to any other kind of dimension. So putting two facing each other isn't going to create any kind of portal. We've done it. No portals opened up. No devils came through.
You just gotta look at your butt.
So, yeah. Why be superstitious about it?
Well, that's true. In the old place, the mirror on my jewelry box faced, and I think I said it. But when we hung it there, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no. My mirror is facing my dresser mirror. Oh no. Let's see.
I have a real quick question.
Yeah.
How do you feel about aliens?
I think that aliens likely exist. I think there's a lot of things to consider there. Considering the age of the universe, the fact that the universe is expanding, statistically speaking, it's almost impossible that we're alone in the universe. But because of, the complexity of civilization and the timeline of when they might have, been at their peak, the chances of us ever meeting aliens are probably pretty slim.
Like, you mean humanity as a whole?
Yeah.
Did you know that the U.S. government was like, aliens are real.
Yeah, I know that they said that,
That's
but
actually not what happened.
Oh.
There was a guy that was like, I would like to say this, and the government read over his statement and was like, you're not allowed to say that. You have not said anything that we consider to be classified, so sure, you go ahead and you say that.
yeah.
And so it wasn't like the press secretary was like, aliens are real. It was one dude in the government was like, aliens are real, and the government was like,
Okay.
he's allowed to say that.
Yeah.
I watched a podcast the other day with Hank Green on it, and he thinks that if the Earth was done over again, it would be octopus.
Well, yeah, that
like
makes...
we wouldn't be people. It would have been octopus that came out of the water.
There are a lot of anime about that.
I bet there is.
And I'm not talking about tentacle porn.
Let's see. This one says, tuck your thumb in a cemetery.
I've never done that.
I used to hold my breath when I went by a cemetery.
Yeah. I've oddly spent a lot of time in a cemetery, but it had a lot to do with cultural differences. Sociology class.
This one's about opening umbrellas inside. There's so many of these that I forgot. What?
I have summoned many evil spirits, if that is true.
You do it at every birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
So the opening umbrellas inside is like, you could hurt yourself. Like, if you open your umbrella in a small space, someone could get hurt.
I have something mean to say about that one. But I'm not gonna say it.
Let's see. But in ancient Egypt, they used umbrellas to shield themselves from the sun. So if you did it indoors, away from the sun, it could insult the sun god, who would then take revenge on your household.
That makes sense, but why do people in America, how did that get to here?
I mean, we've talked about this before, that America's just like, I like your culture.
Oh, yeah, true.
I'm gonna borrow it and call it my own.
I like your culture. We don't have any, so we're gonna steal yours.
Come melt in our pot, and we will assimilate you into our thing.
I don't want to be in a pot with everybody. That sounds like it would just be gross.
Welcome to a hot tub.
Did you know that holy water is mostly just skin and feces?
What?
Like 15% of it is clean.
What? Why? What?
Because people are dipping their hands in there. People don't wash their hands like nasty people.
Oh, hey! Holding your breath as you pass the cemetery. It's basically to not let ghosts into your body, so you don't get possessed.
I think Billy's possessed by a grumpy old man.
Hey, you grumpy old man. You Grandpa Billy. I told Craig the other day that his name was legally rechanged. First name Grandpa, last name Billy. I think that's all I got.
Okay.
Very informative.
Yeah.
Did you learn a lot?
No.
Did you know all of those things?
I mean, I feel like we didn't really delve into any detail on any of these superstitions. Like, why any of these cultures believed any of these things. Other than they were ancient cultures that didn't have any scientific understanding of the world yet.
I have a question.
I don't have an answer. That's the theme of today's episode.
It's mostly for Craig, and it's about, like, ghosts and stuff and things that people have seen and experienced, but also, like, how... not how. Because I'm not necessarily sure I believe in any of this stuff either, but, like, with things like Bigfoot and things like where... Like,
this is a whole other conversation.
I mean, they're superstitions.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Like...
Are you asking if I think Bigfoot's real?
No, I know you don't think Bigfoot's real.
Well, I think people have seen things that they couldn't explain.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, but also, like, the thing with Bigfoot, I forgot to bring my ring light here.
That's okay.
Sorry, that just hit
No,
my
that's
brain.
it's pretty well lit in here.
So one of the reasons it took, I don't actually know this, but you could easily, on the other side of the state, hide a body and nobody would find it. Because the wilderness is so vast. Like, if you were to go in, like, the deep, deep parts of the woods where nobody goes. So there's wilderness that's unexplored or that isn't often explored. And you can't account for the things that live there when you're not there.
I mean, I think there's less of that wilderness than you imagine these days.
I wonder what
These
percent
days,
of the
maybe.
world is explored, like above the surface.
Most of it.
Probably most of it. I think if we were gonna, like, talk about things that might exist that we haven't discovered yet, we're talking about, like, the deep, deep ocean.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've mapped 5% of the seafloor.
Hey, our chimes are ringing.
I hear them chiming.
It's very pretty.
Almost every place on land has been visited by people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm like, oh, this says 29.4% of the seafloor has been mapped.
That's still mostly unmapped.
Yeah.
What is your account for, like, the reason that people see, like, I'm gonna use Mothman as an example because it's the easiest one that I'm thinking about.
I want to do a whole episode just about Mothman for you, but also because the stories around Mothman are fascinating.
Yeah, they are. But how do you explain the red eyes that people see? And then we'll just go with that.
Just on, like, a man-sized shape.
Yeah.
Light being reflected from somebody's eyes. Like,
but if red light is being reflected from a human's eyes,
that
means
that
there's,
light.
like, a tumor and they should need to go get checked out real bad.
No, not necessarily. Like, look at people's eyes in pictures with flash photography.
Yeah, but
It's not just a tumor.
You're not gonna get that kind of...
It's not the tumor. That's not bad. That was pretty good. I'm pleased with that.
I don't remember the scientific reason behind why it happens in pictures, but you don't see it in person, like when you see the flash.
I mean, I think you do. I think it
happens
so
fast.
quickly that you don't necessarily register it.
What about ghosts? What about things that move without explanation? Like if the dark chocolate peanut butter thingies just
picked up and moved?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have an explanation for that.
He hasn't seen it happen.
Fair.
So we've had that conversation before about ghosts of, like, you know, if something, like, if a glass fell off a counter and none of us were in the room. Like, the other day, yesterday at work, my picture of my nephew just, like, fell. It's been standing up for months and just fell. And I went, ghost! And then picked it up and was like, whatever. Kept going. But it like, stuck with me. I was like, why did that picture just fall over? That's pretty bizarre. But Craig wasn't there, so...
So, I mean, I guess my thoughts on that would be more temperature variations in your office. What was the angle that it was like? Was it leaning way back? Was it standing more straight up? Was there enough of a pressure variance to make the air shift to just pop it over? There are plenty of scientific explanations for a picture falling over that don't have anything to do with a ghost going bink.
Screw that kid.
Yeah.
So here's a question. People report, you know, as loved ones are passing,
Mm-hmm.
seeing them, hearing them.
Yeah.
dreaming about them in like a very vivid way of being like if they pass while you're asleep, they come to your dream and say like I love you, goodbye, and like
You're talking about the loved one, like the person that is living, and there's the person that dies, and they're separated by a great distance. Like there was no reason for them to be thinking that this loved one was going to be dying anytime soon.
That happens, yeah, like in car accidents and stuff where it just happens and people are like, I saw her in a car like driving past me, or she walked across the street, or like I saw my dad and I heard him call out to me, and I was like, I'm fine, because I fell down or something, and I was like, I'm fine, don't worry about me, and then he was gone. He was dead when I saw him.
Yeah.
He had been dead.
Yeah.
Already.
Yeah.
But like as a child, I was like, that's my dad. What's my dad doing here? He shouldn't be here right now.
I mean, I'm not going to say that didn't happen, but I think it's more likely just your subconscious.
What about when, like...
I feel bad we're, like, grilling you. Well, what about this?
Well, right now, I'm just playing, like, devil's advocate.
Totally.
Yeah.
Because, like, I want to hear your explanation for things.
I mean, I'm not an expert in all of these scientific fields, but...
we're also talking about things that aren't scientifically proven of, like...
Right, because they can't be.
No, I know. So, I think it's interesting to get your opinion on it, because as somebody that's, like, I don't know, I don't have an explanation for it, must be ghosts. Like, I'm curious what a more, like, rational, logical thought process looks like, because I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
True. So the day that my aunt died, I had a feeling something had happened to her.
Yeah.
But I had no reason to think that because she was in Seattle. I didn't, like, I was a teenager. I didn't think of my family very much.
Yeah.
But she just, like, popped into my head. And then we got home and there was a message to call my uncle, and we found out she had died.
Yeah.
What is your explanation?
I don't have one.
Which is totally fair, because I was like, I don't know how to explain that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it happens with people.
Yeah.
I think, so do you believe in, like, intuition?
I mean, I think yes, intuition, like, the idea that people only have 5 senses, science has disproven that many times over. There are plenty of senses that are far less defined than, sight, sound, taste, touch.
Yeah.
Things like that. So, yes, intuition exists. In terms of how to quantify it, I'm not an expert, and so I don't know exactly how to explain it, but I think it mostly comes from your experiences of the world around you, and your brain's interpretation of all of this sensory input.
Because I feel like what you just described is like a heightened intuition kind of thing, but it doesn't have any,
like, paranormal or superstition.
No, like, it doesn't have any, like, logical, you can't explain why this person, like, I actually asked my dad on the way to where we were going, like, what happens if you die?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, don't worry about that, because it's not going to happen for a long time, and then 2 days later, like, no more dad.
Yeah.
And it just feels like almost a heightened intuition type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, any more thoughts, or...
No, I was just looking up how many senses people actually have.
I think intuition, to build off of what Craig said, where it's like your personal experience, I think certain things will, like, heighten your awareness, which can feel like intuition because it's such second nature to you that Like,
So this website says, depending on how you want to count it, there are between 14 and 20 different senses.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What are they? Not necessarily all of them, but
Sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch, balance, proprioception.
it's that.
ooh,
I don't know. Hang
I'll
on.
Google it. Proprioception. Oh, all right. Why am I being grilled by my iPad? Kinesthesia is the sense that lets us perceive the location, movement, and actions of the body. So, this is proprioception.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna give you a treat because you were being nice. What is the other one?
I don't
Oh, they didn't give a
No.
comprehensive list.
know.
That's lame. Don't tell me I have 14 senses and don't tell me what they all are.
Balance makes a lot of sense. That's one that I didn't even think of.
Right, because that's. I mean, you could argue that that's touch, but it's much more in depth than just touch.
It's ears.
It's the ears of your body. Wait, no, you have ears on your body.
Well, I mean, it's your inner ear.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Because if that gets messed up, it throws off your sense of balance.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there's like 2 senses for each. So like there's perception, and insight, and wisdom, and stuff, and nature. I know, I just kind of like shoved his face. But I think maybe that's where we'll wrap up today. Right where the conversation started to get good. Typical. Well, thank you for joining us on our pod.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.